Now, Kia, we also saw you meet with one of the few surviving Mau Mau fighters, Gitu or Kahengeri. Now, please tell us, like what that meeting was about and what came out of it. Kia.
Yes. First off, I was honored to meet Mzee Gitu, and I hadn't known anything about him until I met him, to be quite honest. And it was brought to my attention. And so when we met him, we had the great opportunity for him to give us access to 164 acres of land in Mount Kilimanjaro, where we will be now developing the first estate ever in Kenya or East Africa, where African Americans or Africans of the diaspora will live side by side with Kenyans. And so primarily that is what came out of the meeting. And 40 of those acres are going to be the estate, and 50 of those acres are agriculture or farmland, where we'll be also maintaining on behalf of our clients to also give back to the food security or the big four here in Kenya.
Okay, now the 164 acres, that's quite a chunk of land. And we know that land is an issue in Kenya. So there's some people who are asking, was there any quid pro quo? Was there any exchange? Was this 164 acres just given to you for free? Kia.
Absolutely not. Now, Kenyans ain't finna just give out nothing free. Now let's be honest.
Wow, Kia.
Okay, come on now. Especially my Kikuyu brothers and sisters, they ain't gonna give out nothing.
All right, we have some of them in the studio.
Shout out to my Kikuyu brothers and sisters.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it wasn't for free, which is why I used the word access.
Okay.
So he gave us access to the land to sell and build the estate up front without giving the money, but we have to pay him for the 40 acres of land.
Okay, all right. So that promise of was it 40 acres and what?
A mule.
And a mule. So it's
Yes.
a dream, so it's a dream that might finally come true so many hundreds of years later.
Absolutely, and we are honored and pleased and humbled that Kenya will allow us to do this. And as I said before, this is not just for African Americans, but this is also for Kenyans. This will also be able to impact the local community of Thika Town and Mount Kilimanjaro. We will outsource all of our resources there locally, as well as employ local people as well. So this is beneficial for us all. And again, on behalf of African Americans, I thank Kenya for allowing us to do that. And furthermore, thank Mzee Gitu.
Okay, all right. That's quite amazing. Now I want to come back to the studio here, because Kenyans like issues. I mean, land is both divisive, but Kenyans love land too. So I want to come to the studio here, and you said, like you're giving access to not only African Americans, but any African in the diaspora. So if there's a Liberian, for example, who's living in the U.S. and wants a piece of that, they can get it. There's a Kenyan who lives out here in the U.S. They want a piece of that, they can get it. So let me quickly come to Omosh and Mika. Let me start with Mika this time. What do you think about this idea of this Gitu Freedom Estates? Are you going to be getting your piece? Because I'm assuming OneMicShow is getting priority, and they're getting like a 78% discount, on the land that we buy. I'm not sure about that, but we can discuss that behind the tent after the show. Mika.
I guess we have to see what's the development plan of it. Like, how is it going to be? How is it? What's the land ownership?
Okay.
What's going to happen? Are you just getting a house that you're leasing? Are you buying it for a certain amount of years? Are you buying land when they say they're giving you access to agricultural land? Are they giving you a certain amount of land to farm? Are you farming by yourself? Are you farming with people? So there's some things that we have to get the clarity of that and get to know exactly what's on offer over here. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get back to Kia shortly, and she'll tell us, some of those details. DJ Moshfire, Kafuroti.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea because, how do I put it? I think black people in America have what is it called? Let's just say they want a better place to raise their kids where they don't have to look over their backs or behind their backs, and everybody is like them and they are treated equally. So having the ability to access such space, place, and you're being welcomed home. We've talked to people before who talk about the experience of going back to Kenya, and when you land at the airport, the way you're welcomed.
Afro-Jamaican was telling us.
That by itself, for somebody who's coming in and does not know anybody here, hypothetically, they're coming to visit. And the fact that you're black, you're being welcomed, you're being told, welcome back home or welcome home. And that by itself, makes you feel welcome enough to the point that you'll say, you know what, I'm going to pack up everything, get out of, the cement factory in New York and move out somewhere in Kenya. And I'll sell my brownstone or whatever it is that I have, my apartment, take the difference in dollars and go and make it over there. And a lot of people are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just having the ability or knowing that there's going to be housing available, you can farm if you want to farm.
Mm-hmm.
You have people who look like you, talk like you, probably think like you, and at least you can all network and share with each other. It's a great idea. And, Rwanda started it and opened up for people. Ghana is doing it. Kenya is on the way. I mean, they just haven't put it in law yet,
mm-hmm.
but they're there. They're on the way. I mean, I'm sure Kia is going to give us some, more insight of what's going on. But at the point in time when they now make it official and they put it in immigration law and it's allowed, I think we'll see a whole lot more people get up and leave.
Okay. All right. Good. Now, before we get back to Kia, some comments here coming in. DJ, no, actually, let me start with Washeke. Washeke says, I feel attacked as a Kikuyu. So maybe, Kia, maybe you may have something to say about that. And then, let me see. And then DJ Chris Rain is asking Kilimanani. This means that DJ Chris Rain is a Kenyan and he does not know his geography. I think Kia was talking about Mount Kilimambogo, but Hapa DJ Chris Rain is asking Kilimanani, meaning he was snoozing.
He went to good schools.
During geography class.
He went to good schools. You know that school where you went where has a Mary and a Saint in it?
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that one.
What was Kilimambogo taught in school?
Well, we
the only way I knew about Kilimambogo was through Music Time.
Music Time. And
yeah,
also
when those Kikuyu musicians...
the Kilimambogo brothers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And then we also have Winnie Bukachi is also tuned in. And then DJ Chris Rain says, we can get it. Sour boss. I see where your mind was going, Chris Rain, but it's all right. And then Bobo Shanti, karibu sana to the OneMicShow. Feel free to drop a comment. Washeke says, I love what I'm hearing from Kia. Africa needs more investors that will build Africa and not the exploitation we see from multinationals. Very good comment there coming from Washeke. Now back to you, Kia. The question came up about, is there any plans out there, for maybe diaspora Kenyans, maybe who might be interested in this Gitu Freedom Estates project? Is there any detail out there about the project where they can go see what's available and what the whole project will be about? Kia, back to you.
Yeah, so we're currently working on that now. What I like to tell Black folks, whether you Kenyan or African American, is we're working on it right now, and approximately, this is the details that we have right now. Approximately, Okay. But right now we are selling the estate itself. We do have a master plan. We have 3 model homes in which we will be presenting 1 villa and 2 bungalows. And for you all that's in the United States, 1 single family home and 2 ranch style homes that you'll get with a 1/4 acre of land with your borehole. So that's your water for us in the United States, and your landscaping as well as your fiber internet will include a comprehensive package where you get that 1/4 acre of land, the house, the borehole, the landscape, the fiber internet, as well as an additional 1/4 acre of farmland at no cost to you for the first 5 years to farm any crop that we'll be presenting to you. We'll be maintaining, the farmers that will be maintaining it will be paying them to farm it and training them at no cost to them. So there's a CSR component built into that. So they too also will go back and be able to farm their land, as well as going back to traditional farming. So essentially, for the first 5 years, you'll get access to a acre of land with your house and so on and so forth, built on an estate where we'll have amenities such as a luxury clubhouse, with a pool, a state-of-the-art theater, convenience store, food court, a daycare, as well as a holistic spa, and several other amenities that would be on this estate. Something like what we see in Tattoo City, but we want to take it up a notch because Tattoo City is really, really nice.
Okay.
But we want to take it up a notch for the area of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is essentially close to Thika Town, if you are familiar with that area.
All right, great. You have a question?
Yeah,
Mosh?
I do. So what I didn't hear in that was a school. Is that something you guys are thinking
Yes.
about bringing up? And if you're going to bring in a school, then there's also religion. So you have mosques, churches, things like that. So that pretty much if it's a
Right.
community, then you have everything around you, right?
Correct. So Mzee Gitu, because of the land that was given to him, not to give too much information, has to have a school and a church on that land. We will be building a technical school on the estate itself, and we also do have access to another technical school that's on his land as well. And he is in charge of the school, I think, of the church, which I think he's already donated to his church.
Is the basic structure and which is not.